enough is enough. You want to know the secret sauce? The secret sauce to building a huge book of business? I want to tell you about the secret sauce. You want to hear the secret sauce? There are some certain things that you need to do in order to be super, super successful at selling insurance. We might refer to this as the secret sauce. And there are certain things that super producers do that help them to get to that size book of business. The problem is that a lot of the insurance agents that are out there aren't doing anything with this sauce. They're not even using the sauce. They don't even know the sauce exists. I want to tell you about the secret sauce. I want to tell you about the secret sauce for you building a huge book of business. In this podcast episode, I'm going to give you the secret sauce. Stay tuned. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Millionaire Insurance Producer Podcast. My name is Charles Specht, and I'm your host, and we're talking about sauce. We're talking about the sauce. You like sauce? I love sauce. Sauce is good. I like barbecue sauce. Let's talk barbecue sauce for a moment. There's a lot of different barbecue sauces out there. There's sweet and tangy. There's spicy. There's like smoky. Lots of different barbecue sauces out there, depending upon what your palate likes. Different barbecue sauce. You need to find the barbecue sauce that works for you. I like spice, but I don't like too much spice. I actually think food shouldn't hurt. It should be flavorful, not painful. So that's my thought on spice. I like a little bit, but not too much. That's my sauce. My sauce works for me. If there was barbecue that just had like a ton of like spiciness to it, I wouldn't really like it. That's not my thing. The thing is, where I'm going with this from sales perspective is that you need to create your secret sauce that works for you, because the sauce that I might put together that works for me doesn't work for you. The sauce that you put together might work for you, but it doesn't work for other people. You have to find your own sauce, and I'm going to tell you about the secret sauce. The secret sauce here is what you need to do in order to grow a huge book of business. There are just a couple of certain things that if you do this, you're going to have a much greater opportunity to build your book with really big accounts and several accounts, to build the book to the size you want it. Here are some of the basic things. Is that one, I need you just to stop talking about yourself. I don't care about you, sadly. I think you're awesome, by the way, but I just don't care about you if I'm your prospect. Your prospects don't care about you. They don't care about you yet. That's part of the sauce. Stop talking about yourself. Stop talking about yourself. Stop talking about your agency. Stop talking about your features and benefits. They don't care yet. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm not saying it might not be an important ingredient to your secret sauce. I'm just saying it's not a part of the sauce they need to know about yet, because they don't care. When you're doing your prospecting and appointment setting, stop talking about yourself so much. Stop talking about your agency. Don't talk about your customer service. Don't talk about your features and benefits. Talk about them. They care about them. They don't care about you yet. They will care about you, just not yet. They will want to know more about you when you come to the first appointment. But in regards to the appointment setting, they don't care about you yet. So you need to stop talking about things that the insured is not concerned about. This is a major ingredient in the secret sauce. You need to figure out the types of things your insurance buyer wants to focus on, and those are the main things that you're going to talk about. Here's what I really feel it kind of comes down to, is that the secret sauce to building a huge book of business has to deal with the pain that the insurance buyer is feeling, and then you can figure out how to define the problem and who do you associate as the reason for the problem. And I usually feel that pain is almost always, did you hear me? I said it's almost always. It's almost always associated with a price. Price. To the insured, that's the pain. I'm not saying that's the problem. I'm not even saying that's the solution. But I am saying that that's where most insurance buyers are feeling right now. That's the pain point. They're paying too much for insurance. Ouch. My deductible is too high. Ouch. Right? They're feeling the pain of it. That's what I want you to focus on. I want you to figure out where the insured's pain is. And 9 out of 10 times, 99% of the time, it's going to be a price pain point. That might be the pain point. There's a lot of other times where potentially customer service is a major pain. Like somebody's just not calling me back. Well, I actually feel that that's a problem. It's usually tied back to the price. I've got you as my agent. You're not even calling me back. I'm paying all this money. That's it. You're fired. It always goes back to price, even the pain point. So I want you, or even like the problem, I want you to focus on the pain. The pain, the pain, the pain. The pain is I'm paying too much for insurance. I don't think that that's the problem, but that's the pain. Did you hear me? I said the price is the pain. It's not the problem. The problem is something else. The problem, we're going to tie it to the insurance, the incumbent agent in just a moment. But the pain, you got to feel the pain. If the insured has no pain, you're not going to win. Did you hear that? That's what I really feel. That if you can't get your prospect to feel the pain, they're not going to choose you. I use an example very often. Aspirin. Why do you take Tylenol? Why do you take aspirin? You got a headache. Okay. You found a solution. You sought out a solution because you felt pain. When you don't feel pain, you don't go looking for Tylenol. Like nobody craves Tylenol. Yummy Tylenol. Yum. Yeah. Nobody does that. Similarly, nobody goes looking for a new insurance agent unless there's pain there. So pain is what we need to focus on. And if you can't find pain, you won't win a new client because it doesn't matter what your solution is. If they don't feel that it's a problem, if they don't feel pain, they're not looking for your solution. So we have to figure out pain. We have to focus on pain. And my friends, in order to build your book of business to a huge number, you have to really get used to putting your thumb in the pain, right? If somebody's got the gouging pain there and you keep like putting your thumb in it, they're going to feel it. They want you to stop doing that, right? Because they don't want to feel that pain anymore. Absolutely, I get it. But we have to help the prospect feel the pain because if they don't feel the pain, they're not going to be interested in what you have to say, what you have to offer, your solution to it. So pain, as I said, it usually goes back to price, but price isn't the issue. Price is the pain. The problem is what needs to be fixed. The problem is what needs to be fixed. The pain is what they're feeling because of it. Is an example. Let's say the insurer is saying, my workers' compensation insurance is too much. I'm paying too much for workers' compensation insurance. I don't like it. Okay, that's the pain. Too much premium for work comp. Well, your experience modification factor is, let's just call it 1.12. So you're paying 12% more than the average company in your state that's doing the same thing you do. So you're paying too much for insurance, workers' compensation. A part of this problem is because your work comp X mod is 1.12. But that's just a part of the problem. The pain, too much, problem, X mod, but really the problem is the incumbent agent's not doing anything about the X mod. The real problem is that your incumbent agent isn't doing a good job. They're kind of lazy. They don't understand what they're doing. They're not looking at your work comp X mod worksheets. They're not looking at your claims. They're not looking at your audits. They're not seeing that the WCIRB has done anything. They're not doing any kind of work comp claims management for you. The agent is the problem. If we can fix the problem, then the X mod could potentially go down, which is going to cause the premium to go down. Let's change out the agent to make the premium go down. Got to tie them together. I got this pain. My work comp's too high. Well, it's because your X mod is high. Why is it high? Because your agent's not doing anything. Get a new agent. Me, for example, I'll come in. I'll help you do this. I'll make sure that the right information is sent to the bureau. I'll make sure that the under adjusters are reducing the reserves if they're too high. Whatever. Change the agent. The problem. Fix the problem. Pain goes away. Pain, however, is what you have to focus on because that's what the insurance buyer feels. They don't realize maybe the agent is doing a bad job. They don't understand that. That's your job, my friends. You have to help them go from the pain to seeing the problem. I would tell you, don't focus on the problem in trying to set the appointment. Focus on the pain when you're trying to set the appointment. At the first appointment, then you start to focus on the problem. You point the problem back to the pain back to the problem. So you are going to prospect based upon the pain. When you get to the first appointment, then you're going to focus on the problem. So let's think about it. We got pain. Now you're going to highlight the problem. And the problem is causing, like, you're going back to the pain. You got this pain point. The problem is this other agent who's not doing this for you, and that's causing all this pain. Do you like that pain? You don't like that pain, do you? That pain's no fun. It's almost like, it's almost immoral that your agent isn't doing anything for you. That's unethical. You keep feeling this pain, like you're paying too much for your insurance, your X-Mod's going up, and they're getting paid, 10% commission on your insurance premium, and they're not even doing some of the basics to help you alleviate that pain. That's frustrating. That's wrong. Like, I can't believe that that's happening to you. Like, don't you want to, like, deal with this pain? Why don't we get a new agent? See, I will explain to you what I would do if I was there. So now I'm going from pain and problem to solution. Pain, problem, solution. Pain, problem, solution. If I came in and was your agent, I would be doing A, B, C, and D, and so forth, which is going to help reduce that. So pain, problem, solution, reward. Pain, problem, solution, reward. Pain, problem, solution, reward. My friends, this is the secret sauce to building a huge book of business. Can I say it again? This is the secret sauce to building a huge book of business. Pain, problem, solution, reward. Pain, this is what you've got. You bring me in, here's your reward. Pain, it's because of this person, your incumbent agent. If you switch out that person with me, you get this reward. Pain, problem, solution, reward. This is the secret sauce to building a huge book of business. But here's what most agents are doing, and if this is you, then smack your hand. Smack your hand. Smack your hand. Most agents talk about features and benefits. We're a good agency. I'm a good agent. We've got great people. We've been in business since 1973. We have some really good insurance carriers that we're appointed with. We will do a really good job for you. We will answer telephone calls. We will process certificates of insurance, lickety split. Like, we do a good job. We've got great features and benefits. Where's the pain? Where's the problem? You're a solution. I don't even need you because I don't feel any pain. I don't see a problem. So I don't need you. And I don't need your solution, your reward. So stop talking about features and benefits. Start talking about pain and point to the problem. Pain, point it to the problem. Pain, point it to the problem. And typically the problem is going to be a result of the insured's lackadaisical effort to really work the account. Maybe the incumbent agent. Maybe the incumbent agent just doesn't have any services. Maybe the incumbent agent doesn't have a lot of experience under his or her belt yet, and so they just don't know how to do this. That's understandable, but you can use that as a reason for the insured to pick you. So figure out the problem as it points back to the pain. Figure out where the problem is to help them understand why a solution is needed. If the insured doesn't feel pain, they won't think there's a problem. If they don't think there's a problem, they don't need your solution because they probably assume they've already got your reward. But if you can figure out how to really spend some time uncovering pains, you're going to end up having a very large book of business. What's the secret sauce to building a huge book of business? Pain. Pain is the real issue. What was it, Mr. T in the movies with Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, and he's like, Mr. T's like, my prediction, pain. That's way back from the day. That's the issue for you. The prediction for winning some new business, pain. Got to go back to the pain. Got to stick your thumb in it. Got to help the insured to feel it. Rip the Band-Aid off so that they can feel it. They have to feel it. Focus on the pain. It's not even the real problem, I'm telling you. But to the insured, that's the problem. Because they don't know what the problem is. They don't know how to identify it. Like, if you tell your insured, hey, we've got great risk management strategies, Like, what does that mean? I don't even know what you're talking about. What does risk management mean to you? Because I might define it differently. Like, that is just too subjective. It is not concrete. It is not literal. And in fact, it's not the pain point. The pain is the issue. Pain. Pain, problem, solution, reward. You need to help the insured to see the pain. Push the pain onto the problem, which is the incumbent agent. You then present your solutions, your time limit services, your unique renegotiation strategy, and so forth, and then you paint a picture for the reward. You're feeling this, Mr. Insured, all this anxiety over here, this frustration, this pain, your premium's too high. Guess what? When I become your agent, you get this. You get the potential for premium reduction. You're not going to be staying up at night. You're going to have less stress in dealing with it. You're going to have much better customer service across the board. You're going to feel that you're taken care of. You're going to be with a better insurance program, whatever. Pain, problem, solution, reward. This, my friend, is the secret sauce to building a huge book of business. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Will you change your way of dealing with prospects, or just keep doing what you're doing? And by the way, I'll say, if whatever you're doing right now is working for you, that's good. Maybe your secret sauce is different. But if your way is not working right now, let's talk about what might be a better option for you. Here's your pain. You're not winning enough new clients. Here's your pain. You're not setting enough new appointments. Here's your pain. You're just not getting enough commission. You're just not making enough money. You're just not quite happy with where you're at right now. You're feeling the pain. You're frustrated. You don't feel like maybe you're just making enough money as you should, or that you think you should be making. You're not setting enough appointments. Can't quite figure out what it is, but man, it's really keeping you up at night. You're stressing about it. You're not getting the insurance buyer to really put their trust in you. You can't figure out how to build the rapport. Nobody's giving you signed broker of record letters. Your process isn't right, and you know it, and you just don't feel confident about the whole thing. You got this pain over here. Do you feel like maybe you're just not a very good salesperson? You're not a good insurance agent. You're not making the money that you should make. Do you have anxiety about that? Are you stressed out? Does your spouse kind of question whether or not you're really doing a good job here? Like, are you questioning your career moves? Right? Yep. Pain. How foolish would it be just to keep doing the same thing? Just keep on doing the same thing. Keep on doing the same thing. That's kind of silly, don't you think? In fact, that's what most insurance agents do, though. They just keep on doing the same thing, and they wonder, how come I still have all this pain? Because you haven't done anything different. Well, here's maybe if I can just kind of put it that way. This is the pain that you're feeling. You're not setting any appointments. You're not winning any business. You're not getting any signed broker of record letters. You're just going through a quoting process and no one is picking you, and therefore you're not hitting your numbers. You're not making any money. You're struggling from paycheck to paycheck. That's no fun. What's the real problem? The real problem is because you don't have any training. You're just kind of like throwing mud against the wall to see what sticks. You're just winging it. But it's because you don't have a process. You don't have a process. If you had a better process, this wouldn't happen. But you don't have a process. The problem is you've got nothing. You've got no strategy. You're just sort of winging it. And because of that, you're just getting this pain. Why? Because you don't have a process. Why? Because you don't know what you're doing. Okay, well, what would be the solution? Glad you asked, my friends. You bring in Charles, the solution. Charles becomes your coach. Charles becomes your agency fractional chief sales officer. Charles becomes your one-on-one sales trainer. Charles comes in and helps you figure out which micro niche is going to be a good fit for you. Charles helps you come in and figure out which carriers are really going to be better aligned with what you're trying to accomplish. Charles comes in and helps you with your scripting, helps you with your branding, helps you with your marketing out into your prospects, helps you to uncover the pain points with your prospects, helps them to see why they should give you the time of day and set an appointment with you, helps you to put together your 12-month timeline of services. Charles comes in, the solution, helps you to put together a plan of attack that's going to win some business. What is then the final reward? More money, more clients. You have less stress. Here's the pain point. You're not making enough money. You feel worthless. What's the problem? You don't have a plan. What do? You bring in Charles. He provides better training, a solution, a personalized process that works for you. What's the reward? Set more appointments, win more accounts by signed broker record letter, make a whole lot more money in commission. What does Charles do? He helps insurance producers, just like you, build a $1 million or more book of business through signed broker record letters. If that's appealing to you, reach out to me, my friends. Love to have a chance to talk with you. I work with agents one-on-one coaching. I am hired by insurance agencies as a fractional chief sales officer. You know what? I'm not saying that it's inexpensive, but I can tell you as an agency owner, it's not that expensive, especially considering how much you're paying for your producers to not actually bring you any results. So yes, there's some cost attached to it, but I'm going to help your insurance producers set more appointments, write bigger accounts, win more accounts, have a greater, hit ratio. Like, you're going to make a lot more money as an agency hiring me as your chief sales officer. There's no downside to this. It helps your producers so that they don't leave you. You spend all this time investing in them. You don't want them to leave, do you? You want them to be successful. Well, let's give them the tools to do that so that they know how to put their hand in the pain point, really tie it back to the other company insurance agent. Get them to become the agent on record through a signed BOR, and then give them the results so that they can actually win. I'm not saying this is easy, but I am saying it really ain't that hard if you're willing to pull the trigger. Individual insurance agents. You know what? Yeah, you might have to pay for sales training out of your own pocket. Okay? Costs $3,000. That's typically what my normal one-on-one coaching is, $3,000. Yeah, I get it. It's not cheap, but it really isn't that expensive. I mean, if I can help you sell an extra $75,000 of commission, is it worth it? Yeah. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. In fact, it's so worth it, you should probably reach out to me right away. Pain, problem, you don't have a strategy. Solution, hire Charles and he'll help you with a personalized solution. Micro-niche, script, appointment setting, how to overcome gatekeepers, how to overcome objections, set more appointments, win more signed broker record letters, win more accounts through a quoting process. The end result, you make more money, you win more clients, you don't have agency leadership breathing down your neck, you sleep better at night, got a great book of business, building wealth. Choice is yours, my friend. You can keep on talking about features and benefits, or you can really get down to the main issue on how to help your prospects become loyal clients to yourself. If you are interested in that, reach out to me, charles@permissiongroup.com, or just go to my website, permissiongroup.com, and you can schedule an appointment to talk with me about it. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn. It's where I spend a lot of my time talking to insurance agents, and I'd love to have a chance to talk with you. If you're an agency owner and you're potentially looking for someone to come on as a fractional chief sales officer, I would love to have a chance to talk with you. I actually know that this works very well. I have a lot of testimonials on my website and love to have a chance to talk with you. Pain, problem, solution, reward. My name is Charles Specht. I am the CEO of Permission Network Insurance Agency, the host of the Millionaire Insurance Producer Podcast, where I teach and train insurance agents just like you how to build a $1 million or more book of business through signed broker of record letters. This is the Millionaire Insurance Producer Podcast.